This is Gerard Wellbrock inviting you to join us for Tiger Talk. Catch the video replay of Monday night's radio program at 10:30 and 7 o'clock, Tuesdays and Wednesdays on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614. That's Tiger Talk, Mondays on Tiger Radio Mix 103 and Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10:30 and 7 on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another special edition of Tiger Talk, an encore of football with head coach Chris Brown as the Tigers prepare for the Mineral Water Bowl on Saturday. The program brought to you as it has each and every night by the Golden Corral Buffet and Grill just north of the interstate in Hayes. Open 7 days a week. The Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. We'll take a look back at the 8-3 season and preview Minnesota Duluth, who the Tigers will face on Saturday in Excelsior Springs, Missouri. And we'll do that right after the break here on Tiger Talk. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, joined by head football coach Chris Brown as Fort Hays State gets ready for the Mineral Water Bowl on Saturday, a noon kick in Excelsior Springs, Missouri. Coach, first off, congratulations. First postseason appearance for the Tigers in 20 years. I know the playoffs is the goal, but considering where the program has come from, this is a nice step to be rewarded with an extra ball game.
It is. You know, I'm very proud of our kids the way they went through this season. You know, we had some ups and downs and had some injuries, and you know, our kids really battled and fought through as the season went on, and found ways to win ball games. And I thought our kids got better each week, and you know, I'm just very, very proud of our kids. And it's always good to keep playing, you know, through the end of November into December, and just says something about your team and your kids and the things that they've done. But very impressive by our young men and by our coaches, you know, to get to this point in our program, and hopefully this just continues to be a building stone of where we want to get to in the future. Well,
we haven't had a chance to talk on the program since the end of the season, but what a way to close it out, to go 8-3. Central Missouri team receiving votes. They were right on the bubble for the postseason, and maybe put together one of your best games of the year, 28-14, and really you kind of gave them, or at least aided in a couple of their touchdowns. You guys played really, really well for the entire day.
I thought we did. You know, I thought defensively and offensively we did some great things. Created some turnovers defensively, and our offense went and scored off those turnovers. And you know, just very proud of the way our kids played and finished off the season. And you know, that we had to win that ball game. It was a playoff game for us, and you know, our kids found a way to get it done. I thought we tackled very well defensively, played very, very physical, and you know, I thought Travion had one of his better days running the ball and throwing the ball, and some kids made some nice plays that we needed to make, you know, to keep drives alive. And you know, just proud of our kids the way they finished the season strong.
Well, it's kind of been all year. It's been different people step up, but you mentioned Travion, and boy, the last half of the season he has taken it to another level, and as you said, maybe had his best performance. He was lock on throwing the ball and making his decisions of when to run it.
He is. You know, he's gotten better each week and gotten smarter each week, and you know, has made better decisions each week, and you know, hopefully that continues, you know, through this last ball game. But very, very proud of the kid and the way he's progressed from, you know, as a freshman to his senior year, and in his improvements and the things that he's done. But he's a competitor. He's going to work hard, and you know, he's going to find a way to win a ball game.
Shaquille Cooper goes over 100 yards again. He's done that most of the season, but have really noticed the last 5 games. I mean, it's been a little bit more difficult. Teams obviously locking in, and I thought maybe in that Central Missouri game, one of his better games, he didn't have the big runs of 60, 70 yards to get him over 100. He had to grind it out, but he really has seemed to adjust to the way teams are playing him and still being very productive.
He did. You know, now teams trying to keep him inside the tackle box, and now he has to understand that, you know, I just got to get downhill and get, you know, be physical runner and go get as many positive yards as I possibly can get. And you know, he's always still just one tackle away from getting that big run. But teams are really focused in on him right now and what he's doing. And but you know, he's learned to lower his shoulder. He's learned to run at a better pad level, and you know, he's running physical right now, which is in between the tackles, and that's something that he has to do to be successful, you know, in this conference and to continue playing on. But, you know, very proud of the way he's performed the last few weeks.
Well, the Tigers get that victory. They finish up the regular season 8-3, and I thought your team did a good job this year of not letting a loss affect them. Sometimes you see a team have a tough loss and it turns into 2, maybe 3. Bounce back every time you suffered a defeat, and you look at those teams, they were all very quality teams, but seem to do a good job of leaving that in the rearview mirror and getting focused for the next game and taking care of business.
And that goes to our seniors, their leadership and knowing where this program's at and seeing where we're at in the program as well. And understanding that, one loss doesn't determine what your season's going to be like. And they kept battling back and forth, week in and week out. And, our kids weren't afraid to play anybody. They felt like they could play with the best in the country and the best in the conference. And, our kids that did that week in and week out, and they gave them, themselves chances to probably win 2 more ball games. We probably should have won the Mo West game, probably should have won the Pitt game, but, we let those 2 teams get away. But that's a learning experience for us. We got the bowl game instead of getting to the playoffs, which isn't a bad thing at all.
Well, the Tigers get set now for Minnesota Duluth. We'll talk more about them a little bit later on in the program. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, talk some more football with head coach Chris Brown. Tiger Talk presented once again by the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. And we're back with more right after this.
They're growing up and getting busier. Between school, sports, dance, sleepovers, you want to make sure they can always reach you when they need to. Nextech Wireless has the perfect cell phone starter plan. For only $40 per month, it includes unlimited data, calling, and texting. There are no contracts or overages, so they can call, text, YouTube, and stream all they want. Plus, smartphones start at just $150. Certain restrictions apply. Get the $40 WOW unlimited plan at Nextech Wireless.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head football coach Chris Brown, as the Tigers get ready for the Mineral Water Bowl on Saturday. The program brought to you by the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA, where kids eat Tuesdays for free from 4 until close. That's kids 11 and under eating free with a drink on Tuesdays from 4 until close at the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. All-conference team came out right at the end of the season, and some good honors for the Tigers. Matt Herbert, first-team offense. Daniel Lindsay, first-team defense. I know you're disappointed in Brock Long being second-team defense, as are a lot of people. We can talk about that a little bit, but those 2 guys getting the first-team honors, obviously well-deserved by a couple of seniors who've obviously laid their mark in the program.
It is. I mean, that's huge for us. Matt Herbert getting that. I mean, he's been here for a long time, works his tail off. I think he was second-team last year, and then to get the first-team this year, he deserves that, very, very much. I mean, he's a great kid, works hard, does everything we ask him to do, and very positive, has fun, enjoys himself, but plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. And then Daniel Lindsay, too. I mean, I believe he was honorable mention maybe last year, possibly second team. But, to get first team this year, that just shows that the conference really respects those guys and the things they're doing. Plus, you get Shaq in there in that first team all conference as well. So they're very proud of those kids, and we still got some second teamers. I'm sure you're going to talk about those, and we'll talk on about those in a second.
Yeah, you're right. Shaquille Cooper, obviously, unanimous choice first team, and look at the numbers he put up and the way he played. Not a big surprise there.
Yeah, it was. And there wasn't much talk when it came to Shaquille, when it came to the conference call, and then I said, "You guys know Shaquille Cooper?" And they're like, "Yeah, coach, we all know him. Not much. You don't need much to say much about him." So a lot of these other kids you get to talk about, but he's unanimous. First team, all conference running back, and he deserves it just by the way he runs the ball and the number of yards that he had.
I thought it was interesting. Where was Travion Albert going to figure in the mix? Because you knew he would get some all-conference accolades, and really no argument. Brent Wilson at Emporia State. Obviously, they've won 2 playoff games, and what he has meant to their team when he was hurt last year, and they won 4. But for Travion to get second with a lot of good quarterbacks in this league says a lot.
That is, and it goes to our coaches too, seeing what Travion can do, and it was good in those conference calls. Those coaches were actually battling for Travion, that he deserved to be, first or second team quarterback. And, it's good to see that when those guys battle for your own kids. And, we were battling for him as well because, he deserves something. If he's not a first team quarterback, then he needs to be a first team athlete, first team running back, first team wide receiver, whatever it might be. But the kid is very deserving of a first team, all conference, player, but we gave him the second team quarterback, which he really deserves.
Yeah, unlike baseball and softball, you sometimes have a utility player. Don't have that in football, and that would certainly qualify. Probably Brock Long being second team was the only disappointment. When you look at the season he has had, one of the best in Fort Hays State history, but he's had one of the better years in the entire country at linebacker, and has been the heart and soul, really, you could say, of this Tiger defense. And they added an extra linebacker to the first team, but the numbers didn't even compare. Maybe a little bit of a disappointment for Brock to only be second team.
Yeah, it is. And you look back at Northwest defense, they got 2 guys in there, but their defense was very, very solid all year long. You got the Connor Harris kid as well, and the Ali kid from Mo West, who was an all-conference kid as well. I think Brock was honorable mention last year, but I still felt like he deserved it. The way he plays the game, the number of hits he put on teams, the number of sacks, the tackles for losses, the fumble recoveries. I mean, it blew all those other guys out of the water. But to me, that's the one that was very disappointing to me. But still he got put up for the Harlan Hill, being the second team all-conference guy, and that's huge.
Well, sometimes you see this in the MIAA. You get better national honors, and sometimes you get in the own conference. But well-deserving. Obviously, you had some third-teamers and some honorable mentions, and well-deserving for all. But a good representation, I guess, when you win 8 games and your program continues to rise in the stocks of the MIAA, you get more recognition from the all-conference teams, and we've seen that the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's what I tell our kids. To be a first team, a second team, or even get honorable mention or a third team, you have to win ball games. If you're in the lower tier of our conference, you're not going to get the votes, and you're not going to get those awards. And we've made strides, each year, and we've got more kids on it each year, and it's just our kids are working hard and doing the things we ask them to do in the summer and through the season, to get themselves, playing at a high level, and teams recognize that, and hopefully, excuse me, hopefully it only continues to get better, from here on out, and then we can get some more guys on those first and second team.
Well, the Tigers are very well represented in the All-MIAA team. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk about the preparation for the Mineral Water Bowl. We'll do that right after this, right here on Tiger Talk.
BOS Motorsports in Hayes introduces the top off-road vehicle lineup with Polaris. The world leader in off-road innovation presents the RZR, Ranger, Sportsman, and Ace off-road vehicles right here in the heartland of BOS Motorsports in Hayes. Whether you're looking for something for the trail, the farm, the oil patch, the hunt, BOS has the ride just for you. Stop in today and ride away with yours. At BOS, customer service is #1. Our in-house parts and service department will take care of you before, during, and after the sale. BOS Motorsports just north of I-70 at exit 159 in Hayes.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head football coach Chris Brown. Fort Hays State getting set for the Mineral Water Bowl on Saturday against Minnesota Duluth. The program brought to you by the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. The Tigers have had Thanksgiving break, a little bit of time to spend with their families, but a lot of practice, and I guess that may be the benefit of the Mineral Water Bowl. You have 3 weeks since your last game from when you'll play again. Obviously, the preparation for your team, but for the young guys, the red shirts, the true freshmen on the squad, almost acts as a second spring for them. I think that has to be as beneficial as anything.
It was very beneficial for us. The first 3 practices, basically the starters just did individual drills, and then we got to, just letting our young guys and our backups, get all the reps, and they got tons of reps from practice 1 till their 6th practice. The change in their attitudes and their abilities and understanding the offense and the defense was tremendous. And they got better those 6 practices, and that's something you really wanted to see as a coaching staff, for those kids getting better.
Well, they did, and hopefully that'll pay dividends down the road as some of those names become more known among the Tiger faithful as you see them on the field next season. How have you handled the preparation? Obviously, you have a grind of 11 games in the MIAA. 3 weeks before the next game, you have Thanksgiving, which you had last week. How have you handled all the preparation leading up to Saturday's game?
We just wanted to get better. We want our kids to get better, and those first 3 practices were for the young kids. The next 3, we got our older kids involved a little bit more, with maybe 20, 30 reps in practice, and then it was back to the young kids getting better. But, starting on Sunday, it was, game preparation week and getting our starters the reps that they need to get to prepare themselves for this next game. And, we're treating it like any other game. It's game week where we're trying to get one more win, and that's been our goal every week, is to get that extra win. And, nothing really changes. We're still going to put them to the grindstone. We're still going to condition. We're still going to do some ones versus ones. But, we're going to do whatever we can to get ourselves better and go win this ball game.
And I would think through the grind of the season, a little bit of time, and same probably could be said for Minnesota Duluth, but a chance to get some of those little nagging bumps and bruises. And you think of an Alex Schmidberger who is battling the foot and ankle injury coming back, Jose Delgado who missed some time. A chance for those guys to get a little bit healthier, as well as just the normal nicks and bumps you get playing college football.
It was, and you can see them right now after, Sunday's practice. Our kids were fresh in practice. They were moving very well. They were quick. They were excited to be back on their field practicing, and because they didn't get a lot of reps of those first 6 practices, and just the intensity and excitement of the very first practice really shows that these kids were hungry again. wanted to get on the football field and practice again and play the game one more time and enjoy themselves. And even through those practices, those guys that were injured, they were either riding a bike or they're doing some type of conditioning just to make sure that they were staying conditioned, for when we play this game on December 5th.
Well, it's coming up on Saturday, the Tigers in Minnesota Duluth. We'll talk about the matchup when we return. Our final segment of Tiger Talk is next, right after the break.
At Eagle Communications, we're proud to provide the communications services you need to get the most from today's technology. Our employee owners make it happen. We're part of your community, and we take pride in delivering excellent customer service. If you ever have a question, give us a call. We're here to help. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. It's our final segment tonight with football coach Chris Brown. The program brought to you, as always, by the Golden Corral Buffet and Grill, just north of the interstate, open 7 days a week. And, of course, for a limited time, enjoy their Meat Lovers Spectacular. The buffet includes steak, jumbo shrimp, bone-in catfish, and carved spare ribs. Everything you like, as much as you like, for one low price at the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. Tigers take on Minnesota Duluth out of the Northern Sun Conference. Duluth team that was preseason number 3, and you get to these bowl games, it's always interesting. Obviously, your guys are excited to get a chance to play another game. In some regards, Minnesota Duluth may be a little bit disappointed. They didn't make the playoffs. They've had to deal with some injuries. They also, like you, go 8-3 and were just left out of the postseason. So I'm sure they've had time to get over that and will be ready to play. But they had, I'm sure, bigger aspirations going into this year with a preseason number 3 ranking.
Yeah, I think they did. Being number 3 in the preseasons, and then some of the teams that they play, are very, very good football teams. Just as long as, just as well as us, we play some very good football teams as well. I mean, our goal was to get to the postseason. Their goal was to get to the postseason and get to the playoffs. But this is just another opportunity for us to play postseason and get ourselves better and take another step in this program. And they're a good football team. They're big, they're strong, got pretty good speed. They're going to play very, very physical. They're going to try to run the football, and defensively they fly around and don't give up a lot of big plays. So it's going to be a tough challenge for us here on Saturday.
Yeah, this is their 8th straight year in the postseason. The prior 7 were in the playoffs. They've also won a Mineral Water Bowl back in the early 2000s. You look at them really big up front, and you mentioned the defense, very, very good. They don't give up much on the ground. They don't give up much through the air. They remind you of anybody in the MIAA?
You kind of look at it like a Mo West and a Central combination is kind of what I see. Just a good, solid football team that's not going to give up, a lot of yards, defensively, and not a lot of points. And then offensively, they're going to grind the clock out and try to run the ball and try to wear your defense out and hopefully get a few big plays, later on in the game. But there's a tough team, very physical, hard-nosed, and they try to wear you out, offensively and defensively, and try to finish you off in the fourth quarter. And that's the type of team that I see.
It'll be interesting with the time off. Their starting quarterback, who has had a phenomenal career, didn't play down the stretch, probably one of the reasons they didn't get into the playoffs. And then their running back, who was like 3rd all-time leading rusher in school history, they've been hurt. Indications they may not play because of those injuries that were season-ending, but I guess we'll find out on Saturday. Does that change your preparation, knowing or not knowing who's going to be in those positions?
Yeah, you just don't know. So you got to prepare for both of them. We're preparing for the kid that they have right now, and then we got to add in some pass game as well, just to make sure that we're prepared for both sides, for both quarterbacks and both running backs, because they do different things with each one of those kids. But it's just part of it. It's just kind of like our conference too. You never know week in and week out who's going to be in the game. Some teams have 2 quarterbacks, some have 1, some can throw, some can run, and hopefully our preparation through this season has prepared us for this game as well, and hopefully go up there and give a good performance.
Well, one thing your team has done well is make those in-game adjustments, and that's one of the reasons you're able to win 8 games this year. It's been a pretty good group as far as just football ability to make those adjustments on the fly. And hey, you get in the postseason, everybody's probably got a new wrinkle or two they may be throwing in there, so you have to be ready for everything.
Yeah, there'll be something. You always got to be prepared. Defensively, you really just got to keep everything in front, especially early in the game. Watch for the trick plays and, stay deep, keep everything in front, and not give up that easy big one. And, offensively, we just got to be prepared for some type of different front that they might show us or whatever it might be. But, just got to go play football, get your blocks, and make the tackles, and put more points on the board than they do, and hopefully we win this ball game.
Should be a lot of fun. The weather forecast, at least now, looks like it should be a pretty decent day, and should be a fun day for the Tigers. Hopefully can get win number 9 and the first in the postseason. That'd be a great way to cap a phenomenal season for this group of seniors.
It is, and it's a great group of kids. Our goal is, to get this 9th win, and it'll be the first time in school history to get 9 wins, and then first time in school history to get a postseason win as well. And that's something that can never be taken away from those kids, and that's something we've talked about to these kids is, do whatever you can to do it. You could make it, be a part of history, and making something a first. That's something nobody can ever take away from you. So very proud of these kids, proud of these seniors, and, they just need to go take care of business on Saturday.
Looking forward to it. Should be lots of fun. Coach, we'll see you in Excelsior Springs on Saturday.
Thanks, Gerard.
That is head football coach Chris Brown of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Again, they'll take on Minnesota Duluth in a noon kickoff Saturday in Excelsior Springs, Missouri at the Mineral Water Bowl. You can still get your tickets by contacting the Fort Hays State Athletic Department. Stop by their office or give them a call at 628-4050. That's going to wrap up the program. It is brought to you again by the Hayes Meadow Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, Adams Brown, Barron and Ball, Couture for Men and Women, Eagle Communications, and of course the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. Programming note, the football game Saturday will be on Tiger Radio Mix 103, 11 a.m. with the Auto World pregame show. Tiger basketball Saturday afternoon with Emporia State. That will move to 101.9 The Bull, and that will get underway at about 1:40 with the Auto World pregame show. It's going to wrap up the program. For Coach Chris Brown, this is Gerard Wellbrock. Good night, everyone.